so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. Thanks for tuning your beautiful brainwaves into another episode of the Positive Head Podcast, where we are firmly convinced that creating success and happiness is rooted in understanding the ultimate nature of reality and the fact that as human beings, we are all immensely powerful fractals of the one and only source consciousness which creates and animates all things. After years of exploring this awe-inspiring truth on this podcast, I'm super excited to announce that we are now going even deeper down the rabbit hole on the new late-night style consciousness-elevating talk show called Optimistic, which features none other than you, the listeners. Optimistic is taped out of the epic spaceship-esque 8-bedroom property we call the Mystic Manor that myself and the rest of the Optimistic crew now navigate reality from in Venice Beach, California. And you are invited to come experience a Mystic Manor immersion week with us. During your week-long stay, you'll enjoy unique workshops, chef-prepared meals, one-on-one time coaching and consulting with me, and even co-creating magic with me as a guest on both Optimistic and an episode of the Positive Head podcast. When I started this, my aim with these immersive retreats was to facilitate the ultimate spiritual upgrade and tune-up, so to speak, for our guests while providing them with one of the most memorable experiences of their lives. And I'm happy to say that as of this recording, every guest at the end of their trip so far has told me that they have had a profound and transformational experience at the Mystic Manor and that they definitely want to come back. All that being said, we only have a limited number of spots available between now and next July. And as of this recording, about half of those spots are already filled. So if there's any part of you that is screaming, yes, I want to come, I feel like I need to be there, go now and book a slot with me to discuss how we can put our heads together and make it happen at calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. I know for some people, there is also that little voice in their head saying, why not? I can't get off work. I can't afford it, and on and on and on. But, really Henry Ford, I think, said it best. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And I'm confident that where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm personally committed to doing everything in my power, including discounts and payment plans, to get you here if it is something that truly feels like a huge yes for you energetically and like you're meant to be here. Once again, the link to book time to discuss with me is calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. That's spelled calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. All one word, of course. And book in some time and look forward to seeing you soon here at the Mystic Manor.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. It is such an honor and a pleasure to be doing my first solo podcast episode today. My name is Samantha Lotus. I am one of your new hosts of the Positive Head podcast. And as you might be able to hear in the background, there are some waves happening and some seagulls. And I'm actually recording this episode at the beach. Now, the reason why is I feel that as human beings, we have been so disconnected from our true nature, from our true mother, from Mother Earth. We live in these concrete boxes. We operate in buildings, and we go from one concrete box to another concrete box to another concrete box. And it's so rare for us in this modern day and world to be exposed to the natural elements. Like, most of us are not getting enough fresh oxygen. We're not getting enough sunlight. We're not connecting our feet to the earth. We're not eating enough whole foods and drinking pure water. And the repercussions of that are that most of us are really sick, right? 1 in 3 North Americans have a chronic illness or degenerative disease. And the fact is that we are connected from what truly nourishes us. And what truly nourishes us is nature. And so I realized today, as I was going to be speaking about nature, it would be kind of hypocritical to be behind my computer screen sitting in my office at the Mystic Manor. And instead, I would do this at the beach. So right now, I have the sun beating on me. I have my feet on the sand. I'm looking at the ocean. I have my pure water that has been crystallized and filtered through a crystalline grid filter at the Mystic Manor. We drink the purest water. And I'm deep breathing and I'm connecting to the earth. And it feels so good because I realize, most of us, again, we wake up in our condos or concrete houses, and then we get in our cars or the subways and then go to a building with fluorescent lighting. And it's really challenging for the human body because we, for forever, we have been intricately connected to nature. We used to live outside. We used to live, really connected. And over time, we have come more indoors and have, shoes on where we're never connecting to the earth. And the air that we're breathing is cycling through these filtered systems and air conditioners and heaters. And the water that we're drinking has all sorts of chemicals and fluoride and all of the different things. And the food that we're eating, it's filled with chemicals and genetically modified organisms and sprays. And it is doing damage to our minds and our bodies. And, now there's all of these amazing biotechnologies and biohacking things that you can do, and, the juicing and the supplements and the oils and all of those things, they're amazing. All of those things have their place. They're super helpful. And we need to remember to bring it back to basics. We need to remember to breathe, to really take the deep breaths, engaging the diaphragm, taking in that beautiful oxygen, the breath, the lifeblood. We need to be getting enough water. And I do recommend having pure water, as pure as possible, or filtered in a way that removes all of the things that they're adding into the water. Because most of our body, 70% of the body is liquid. And most humans are chronically dehydrated. And when you're chronically dehydrated, you'll feel more pain. You'll feel more inflammation, headaches, back pain, cramps, nausea. You won't be digesting properly. The joints and the muscles and the tissues are not properly lubricated. And so there's a ton of stiffness. And when there's stiffness in the body, there's stiffness in the mind. And with stiffness in the mind and the body, spirit is not able to really flow through and do its work in this vessel. And so making sure that you are lubricated up with lots of fresh water is going to be really, really potent for you and makes a huge difference. Most people don't realize how dehydrated they are. And a lot of people think, well, I drink coffee and I drink tea and I got my iced tea and my sodas and my coffees and my milk and my juices. Well, coffee is a diuretic and it also dehydrates you. Teas are filled with lots of sugar, so it's actually not healthy. Carbonated water does not hydrate you in the proper way, and it actually pulls at the minerals in your bones. Milk, dairy, a lot of conventional dairy is really not good for you. It's not great for your tissues. It's not great for your bones. It's not good for your calcium levels, and it does not hydrate you in the same way that pure water does. And even adding in electrolytes, a little bit of lime juice or orange, fresh squeezed orange with a little bit of sea salts, that can help you with your absorption. If you are mineral deficient, you won't be absorbing your water. And so really upping your water game is super important. And then natural foods. When people think natural foods, well, what is that? It means that it's not in a box. It's not something that you need to microwave or you need to unwrap from cardboard or plastic. It's fresh fruits and vegetables. Those are your go-tos. And then your nuts and your seeds and your healthy fats. And if you're not vegan or vegetarian, well, then your good quality, natural, hormone-free ethically raised and pasture raised animals, organic, ideally fresh from your farmer, that you're blessing and taking in with intentionality and love. Whole foods, lots of colors, eating the rainbow so that you're nourishing your chakras and the different organs and the tissues. So that's really important. And then getting outside, like making sure that you have sunlight contacting your body so that you're absorbing your vitamin D, which is great for your hormones and your neurochemicals, your brain, your mood. We need the sun. We are alive from the sun. And planting your feet on the earth. This is something called earthing or grounding. And the negative charge of the earth actually pulls out all of the positive ions from the body. And positive ions are chaotic ions that are in the body. And so when you get to plant your feet on the earth, you really get to connect with what is nourishing for you. You get to feel your connection to the earth. It really roots you down in your root chakra. It connects you to the mother. It connects you to your mother, and it reminds you that you are not just on this earth. You are really of this earth. And if you're like, well, what does that mean? Okay, so it means that earth is not just this home that we purchased and then came to. It's really something that we were birthed out of. We are intricately connected to the earth. For instance, to go a little bit deeper, the food that we eat is grown where? It's grown from the earth, right? Plants and veggies, even animals, all the things that are natural are of the earth. Now let's think about the trees. Well, the reason why we're able to breathe is because the trees, they literally inhale carbon dioxide, our toxic waste byproducts of our breath, and they exhale oxygen. So they're able to synthesize and create oxygen for us. So the mere fact that we breathe is because we're literally inhaling and exhaling with the lungs of the planet, which are the trees. So even just that, we really need to see, like water that we drink, where does that come from? That's from the earth. Everything is from the earth. And we are not separate from the earth, even though we've been taught to be, and we've forgotten that connection. So going out and sitting in nature is such a profound way to remind you of who you are and where you come from, to give you that deeper appreciation. Because what we're seeing right now is that both the earth and the people on the planet, our people, our brothers and our sisters, our mothers and our fathers, our sons and our daughters, our cousins and our friends, most people are quite ill. Everything from autoimmune conditions, digestive disorders, diabetes, obesity, cancer, all of like the degenerative conditions. And then what about mood? Most people have anxiety and depression and some kind of mood disorder. Most people have so much stress and are stuck in their fight or flight response that it seems like the majority of humans are sick. And what's crazy, it's such a crazy statistic, is that this next generation actually is predicted to have a shorter lifespan than our generation and our parents' generation. That means that we're actually doing worse. This is the first time in history that it is predicted that we will have a shorter lifespan than the generation before us. With all of the technology and the medical advances and all of those things, like the fact that we can go to other planets and the moon and have virtual reality and all of that, and yet the lifespan of the future generations is actually less, we're doing something really wrong. And we're going so deep into the mind and so deep into science and technology and all of those things that are amazing. Don't get me wrong, they're wonderful. And we need to bring it back to basics and connect to the earth. Imagine if everybody just went outside for an hour a day, took deep breaths, moved their bodies, connected to the ocean or connected to the lake or connected to a forest, chilled out, let their nervous system go into their parasympathetic, into rest and digest, had a garden, ate natural foods, drank pure water. Like, how would we be? And then the next point about getting outside and being in nature and connecting back to basics is, I like to say, the most important vitamin is vitamin C. And no, I'm not talking about vitamin C from oranges. I'm talking about vitamin C, vitamin community, and vitamin connection. We are social beings. Human beings are social creatures. What that means is that we need one another. We need love. Love is the most vital nutrient, the most vital thing on the entire planet for humans. Without love and social connection, we cannot thrive. It has been proven. You know, when they do studies on the blue zones, on these zones in the world where people are living past 100, what they found is that the diet doesn't really matter. The smoking doesn't really matter. It's not one of the factors that really matters. You know, it doesn't matter if it's rural or what it was. What they found was that the factor that mattered the most was the people that live the longest and the healthiest and the happiest live in community. And here in the Western world, we've been taught to be so individualistic. Most people, a lot of people, you know, especially in their 20s and 30s, live alone. Or they're living in couples, but they're not living in community. There's a lot of isolation. And most people are lonely and feel disconnected, even if they have friends or even if they have social media, even if they have a lot of followers. Many people are experiencing isolation and disconnection. And when you feel alone and lonely and disconnected, the heart hurts and the soul does not thrive. And so really seeing just the basic fabrics of what human beings need to be healthy and happy and thriving and well, it's so simple. It just takes a shift. It takes a conscious shift in recognizing, wow, the way I'm living is not really working for me. The choices I'm making are not really working for me. The foods that I'm eating do not make me feel good. The water that I'm drinking is full of crap. These boxes that I'm in, you know, the fluorescent lighting and the EMFs and the Wi-Fi's and all the things, is this really where I feel alive? And I'm not saying that you have to quit everything. You don't have to quit your job and give away your car and stop eating fun foods. I'm just saying that there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a conscious decision to do better for yourself, right? To make the choices that will enhance our collective ability to evolve and thrive. Because it feels as if we are at a tipping point right now in the world where things kind of look grim. Like, you know, our oceans are polluted. A lot of our animals are going extinct. Our humans are dying. The ozone is perforated with all of these holes. Like the EMFs are about to, you know, blow up our brains and minds and all the things. I'm not trying to be grim here. I'm just saying that we are at a tipping point. We're going to go one way or the other. And there's so many opportunities for us to do better, for us to use less plastics and more renewable materials, for us to choose better ways of sourcing our energy, for us to choose better ways of connecting and living and attuning to nature, of reclaiming the feminine, that feminine energy, of healing. There's a lot that we can do. And if you're somebody that's listening right now and you want to start making some positive changes to get even more into the positive head mode, then what you can do is take an assessment of your life. Look at all of the different categories in your life and start to ask yourself, is this really working for me? Does this really feel good? Do I really feel like I'm thriving in my life right now? And do an audit. And then, you know, asking yourself, well, where can I make a little improvement? Where can I make a 1% shift or change? That's what I like to ask myself. You know, I don't need to change everything. I don't need to radically shift my entire life, although I do like doing that. And if you're down with that, if you're that kind of person, do it. It's great. All at once. Boom. Rip off the Band-Aid. Get it done with. Shift your reality, rewrite it, and upgrade your paradigm. That's wonderful. And if you're somebody that likes to ease into things, that's perfect too. And just say, you know, each week I'm going to make one positive shift. Or each day or each moment I'm going to just attune into my body and ask, is this enhancing me? Is this enriching me? Is this good for me? And creating a conscious life plan for yourself. Asking, who would I like to become? How would I like to feel? What would I like my life to look like and to be like? Who is the person that I would be proud to be? And what habits do I need to shift? What thoughts do I need to shift? What behavior patterns do I need to shift? What identity am I attached to that I get to release and rewrite? And this is the thing. you've got this. Like, you can change whatever you want. You can reclaim your power in any way. Whatever has been done can be undone. Whatever has not been created yet can be created. That's the beautiful thing with this reality, is that you are the architect. You are the conscious co-creator of your reality. Whether you believe it or not, you are. And if you choose to believe it, that is where the power is. That is where the magic is. When you tap into the truth of who you are, being a conscious co-creator of your universe, you really get to see the magic and get to realize that the only thing that was ever in your way was you. And that might be hard to take some time, because I know, a lot of people have gone through some really hard things, and so you can't control what's happening outside of you. You can't control what happens to you all of the time. You can learn the lessons from it, and you can decide what your role is, how you're going to react, how you are going to act, how you are going to move forward, and how you are going to really choose yourself. Because that's what it's about. It's about getting to choose. How do you want to live? How do you want to feel? How do you want to play in this playground that we call Earth, in this soul school? And how do you want to contribute? Like, what would you like your role to be? What would you like your story to be? This is where the fun is. Really seeing that you are the alchemist of your lifestyle. You are the architect of your reality. You are the conscious co-creator. And it starts with being healthy and well, in my personal opinion. I feel like you can be the smartest, happiest, go-lucky, intelligent, capable human, and if your body is not well, if you don't have your health, you really can't do much. And health issues and illness and dis-ease and pain, those are all beautiful lessons. Like, they all have a magical lesson buried within them. And your job, if you so choose, is to find those lessons. It's to seek them. It's to ask, why is this happening for me, through me, as me, not to me? Really ascending out of victim mentality into empowerment. Whew. It's so good. There's nothing better than being an empowered human being. And it starts with you, right? You get to be the change you want to see in the world. You get to choose how you want to feel. So I hope this inspired you. If anything, I hope it at least stimulated you to make one positive change. And if you're in the Facebook group, the Positive Head Facebook group, I'd love for you to post that positive change that you were inspired to make. That would be really fun. I'd love for us to keep each other accountable to that. And if you have any questions as well, post them in the group. I'm super happy to answer them. We're always happy to jump in and, keep the conversation going. I feel it's really important to have that community for support. So that's something that's really exciting. And if you'd like to connect with me, I would love for you to connect on Instagram at Samantha_Lotus. You can also connect on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Samantha Lotus page. If you want to check out more about the work that I'm doing or how to work with me, you can go to www.samanthalotus.com. And right now, I've just decided to relaunch my Address Roadmap Health and Wellness Masterclass. And normally it was a $2,500 program that I'd bring my clients through personal one-on-one coaching. Right now, I have posted it online, and I decided to do a really epic Christmas special. So it's priced at $444, and I'm putting it on special for $222. So $222. Only for the month of December, is a little Christmas or Hanukkah or holiday gift, a December gift to be inclusive for all religions and denominations, a spiritual gift. And to be able to access that, you can find it on my website. I'll also post it in the show notes. The website that you'll find it at is superheroacademy.net/address, ADDRESS. And the promo code is SPECIAL50. That's all capitals. So check that out. It's an 8-module program that goes through everything that you need from mindset and attitude, desire and drive, diet and detoxification, rest and rejuvenation, exercise and oxygenation, support and soul, And then it also goes into essential oils and emotional release. So it's a really fun program. There's 10 modules in total. You can do it all at once. You can do it over the span of a year. It's totally up to you. And it's on sale for $222 instead of $2,500, which is pretty epic. And yeah, so if you have any questions about that, reach out, contact. Love to connect with all you positive heads. And I'd love feedback as well. Is there something that you'd like me to chat about? Are there topics that you want to be covered? What do you love hearing about on this podcast? Furthermore, I am so grateful to have the opportunity to jam out with you and to chat and to share my passions. So thank you so much for being here. I have so much gratitude and appreciation and love for this whole community. Until next time. Mwah.
And if you're feeling the call to come for a week retreat style Mystic Manor immersion, remember to go now and book your time to speak with me directly about stepping into the optimistic vortex at calendly.com/talk with Brandon while there are still spots left. Otherwise, I look forward to co-creating magic with you at the Mystic Manor.